Hi, good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Good morning, Julie.
Grand Rising, Jonathan and everyone.
So we got a lot we're going to talk about this morning, and boy, um, just all the stuff that we keep seeing going on with these six Democrats, Senator Mark Kelly,
The seditious six.
Senator Slotkin,
Mm-hmm.
yes, Representative Crow. I hope he's going to be eating crow soon. um, Representative DeLuzio. Looks like Goodlander and Houlihan. Hoorah. But anyways, these guys keep making the news quite frequently, and I hope something comes of this, Julie.
I hope so too.
What they have done. They have promoted basically. They're wanting to divide the military against Donald Trump. They're wanting people to question his integrity,
Mm-hmm.
orders, and they're just trying to create this division. I don't care that Mark Kelly was a former astronaut. Um, you know, Not to mention the fact, he keeps bringing up about his wife getting shot and everything. Now
Yes.
now he's supposedly getting all these death threats. Well, here's what I got to say to Mr. Kelly this morning. You go against our commander in chief, Donald Trump,
Mm-hmm.
who has not placed one illegal order in this
Nope.
country,
Mm-hmm.
and for you to bring it up, and for these six demon rats, as I'm going to call them this morning, for
Yeah.
these six demon rats to sit there and all side with him and make this kind of a broadcast, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? They get what they deserve. And I hope
Agree.
justice is served on them, and I do. And I
Right.
know now the military tribunal courts is intervening on Mr. Kelly, um, and if all these guys are really veterans, I hope they intervene on every last one,
I hope
not
so
just
too.
Mr. Kelly,
Right.
because they're all a part of this scheme.
Yes.
Um, but I'm going to
Yes.
play a little bit this morning that came out here.
Okay.
Oh, I might have to shrink you just for a second.
Might need. Yep.
My
Help! I'm
apologies.
melting.
And
See what we got here.
The six Democratic lawmakers who appeared in a video last week telling military members they must refuse orders they find illegal are tonight on the administration's radar. Federal investigators want to talk to them following the president's proclamation that they should be arrested. Correspondent David Spunt has the latest on that tonight. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening to you. We are told investigators from the Justice Department, which includes the FBI, are making initial outreach to staff members on Capitol Hill to set up interviews with those six members of Congress who appeared in this controversial video. The two senators and four representatives, all Democrats, urged those serving in the military they can, quote, refuse illegal orders, end quote. This after the U.S. military conducted more than 20 deadly military strikes on suspected drug boats in international waters, Brett. The legality has been questioned since there was no congressional authorization. President Trump calling for the prosecutions of those he calls, quote, traitors, accusing them of, quote, seditious behavior. Now, the DOJ is not commenting on any potential probe, where or when interviews would take place, but we're told they could be soon. In the meantime, separate from any DOJ questioning, Senator Mark Kelly is being investigated, as we reported yesterday, by the Pentagon. The Arizona Democrat and husband of former
as he
Congresswoman
should be.
Gabby Giffords is a retired naval officer and still subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. War Secretary Pete Hegseth threatened to call Kelly back into active duty to face court-martial punishment.
Yes.
I never questioned any order, and you're required to follow all legal orders. You're also required not to follow illegal ones. And I think most people...
So right there, what he just said, you're also required not to follow illegal ones. So he's basically promoting out there to the military personnel that Donald Trump is placing illegal orders. That's what this
Exactly.
is all. That's what this is all about, folks.
Exactly.
Whether
Yep.
you guys are a Mark Kelly fan or whatever you are, it doesn't matter. The point is, he's trying to create a disruption in our military, He's intentionally trying to divide this country, just
Yes.
like just like they have destroyed Arizona. This
Yep.
state of ours has gone to hell, all because of the Democrats like Mark Kelly, Governor Hobbs, you know, and she's facing a
Mhm.
lot of things as well coming up. I know
Yes, she's got some issues. Yep, for sure. Right.
they've got a lot of crap on our governor, and
Mm-hmm.
God that they go after every one of these SOBs because I
I
don't care.
know.
I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. When you want to sit there and you want to promote to the American people and to our military, like Donald Trump is placing all these illegal orders, and we'll talk about this later in this broadcast. You know, my question to the American people is: when do you consider it to be an invasion on our borders? When do you consider it to be an invasion in
Mm-hmm.
our cities across America?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have law enforcement doing stand downs to where they're allowing this corruption, allowing this violence, and everything in the book. And their mayors of their cities are telling the law enforcement, you don't get involved. If these people want to attack our ICE agents, blah blah blah, just let it happen. Um, this is the kind of crap, folks, that doesn't fly with me. It shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
fly with the American people. This should
Right.
be all about our safety, about
Mm-hmm.
keeping America safe,
Yep.
and and that's where it's at for me. If you guys disagree, feel free to make a comment. If you guys would like to call into our studio this morning, you can give us a call 928-385-4738.
Mm-hmm.
Call into the studio, folks. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this matter as well. But
Yep. So
again,
what Mr. Kelly's done here is that he's basically he's undermining the authority that President Trump currently has. Okay, and because they keep asking him what illegal thing are you talking about, he's got no answer for them whatsoever. He's
yes, none
just
of these Democrats do. Yeah,
planting the seed of doubt, planting, again, he's undermining authority. And that's what seditious means, is that he's
yeah.
undermining the authority of the current standing commander in chief. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
exactly.
And so I find it curious that here he is talking about illegal orders and all of this other stuff. And he's bringing in his wife, brings up his wife all the time. Well, I found a WTF Whiskey Tango Foxtrot moment about Mr. Kelly right now that I'd like to share the screen if I could.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Let's
this
put
is
this out
very
there.
interesting. Do we want to? Let's finish watching this and see what this dude's got to say, and then we'll have a little more chat about this gentleman's background.
Absolutely.
Can figure out, just take some common sense in what would be an illegal order. But I think it's important for people to know that they need to be able to stand up and speak out.
Several of the lawmakers issued a joint statement.
So they should be able to stand up and speak out. Speak out about what? If Donald
Exactly.
Trump hasn't violated any laws,
Nope.
if his orders are all justifiable, what are they supposed to speak out about, Mr. Kelly? You know,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you
He
tell the
won't
American
answer
people
that.
this?
He's been
And yeah,
asked that over and over again, and he won't answer that directly. None of them will.
yep. And none of these, and now you got another one of the House representatives that was out of the six people here threatening our military and people, saying, if you do this or you pursue, these charges, blah, 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 you know, Donald Trump will be out, here in a few years. And basically, it's a threat telling them we're going to come after you next. Um, that's what they're doing. It's right. They've been saying it right there on national television, even.
Man.
And you see that kind of crap. As far as I'm concerned, court martial every one of these SOBs, try them
Mm-hmm.
in a military court of law, and you know what? Throw away the key on them.
Yes,
These,
please.
I'm not ever out to attack our veterans, but I'll tell you what: if you don't stand up for the laws of the land, if you don't stand up for a president that is making lawful orders, and you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to create people to go against our president and the orders
Mhm.
he's placing, you know what? Hey, you get, like I said, you get what you deserve.
Yep.
And 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 I pray to God they lock you up, and that's it. You're done. You're
Hmm.
finished.
Yep.
Um, and we'll just play a hair more, and we'll move on past
Okay.
this.
Late today saying they, quote, we will not be bullied, end quote. Senator Alyssa Slotkin is a former CIA analyst, Brett, and the others didn't serve as long as Senator Kelly in the military and are not subject to being called back into active duty to face any discipline in the military community. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Hegseth announced that he wants a review by December 10th on Senator Mark Kelly by the Navy Secretary. Brett.
Okay, David Spahn, thanks.
Good.
Working on that final war. It's not easy, but I don't
So
know.
there you have it.
got it.
You know, speaking of the Ukrainian president, you know, here's the SLB wanting to meet with Donald Trump again.
Hmm.
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, the guy's nothing but a liar.
Yep.
Just like all of them. You know,
Yes.
he lies through his teeth every
Yep.
time. You know, this is a waste of Donald Trump's time. As far as I'm concerned, I'd tell if I was Donald Trump, I'd say, you know what, America's washing our hands of this. You're on your own, buddy.
Well, and it's rather curious that you say that. I just watched something yesterday that was talking about this topic exactly. And this gentleman caught this very well. So President Trump told us, I believe it was yesterday, that he was going to have, I can't remember who he named, but he named one of his key people to talk to Putin. Okay. And then he said, and I'm going to have my other people talk to the Ukrainians. Okay. The reason that this is important is he won't even mention Zelensky's name. So we find that very curious
Yeah.
that he's like, no, let my people deal with it. And they're not even going to really deal with Zelensky, is what it's sounding like right now. So I
Right.
found that very curious.
Yep.
Yep.
So, well, that's enough of that, anyways. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Julie. I mean, the stuff that we're seeing right now, um, you know, I think President Trump has finally had enough of Zelensky and all these guys. It's
Mhm.
like he has tried and tried and tried to compromise both with Russia and Ukraine. You know, same thing with Israel. And you know, and a lot of people might hate me after today's broadcast. I'm getting used to it, but I'm going to get this out there. You know what? Here we've got all the crap going on in this country,
Mhm.
and we're focused on Israel, 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 or Ukraine, Russia. You know, how about staying focused on what's happening just right here in America, and the hell with everybody else? You know, Israel's been battling these wars for hundreds of years, folks. You
Yes.
know, same thing with Ukraine, same thing with
Mhm.
Russia, same
Yep.
thing with China. We can just go on and on and on. You know,
Mhm.
we can't even take care of our own borders and crap because we got judges that are trying to overrule Donald Trump and try to act like these are just refugees, as we all know different. Um,
Right. No.
what, and then they get pissed off because Donald Trump calls in the troops to take over and handle these cities because people are not handling it themselves in their states.
Exactly. Yep.
It,
Yep.
so what's our president? What's our president supposed to do? Think about this.
Mhm.
Is he just
Mhm.
supposed to let people die in New York, L.A., Washington, even Arizona? What do you do as an acting president? If you see nobody is intervening on this, you got Border Patrol, ICE agents getting shot at, being assaulted
Mhm.
at. We've got
Yep.
law enforcement dying every day, you know,
Mhm.
which I've been listing over and over on my Facebook page.
Mhm.
You know, you look at the reality, folks, and ask yourself that question. When do you, as a president, say, not on my watch?
Right.
Because I guarantee you, if I was president, I would have sent in the troops from day one. because these cities have been corrupt as hell for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have been going through this for several years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you
Agreed.
know what? But Donald Trump did his job. He tried to work with these cities. He tried to work with these governors and mayors. Credit for that, and said, if you guys can't get this under control, then I will.
Right.
And there again, President Trump has my full support in that matter, because you don't just let Americans die, So what else is there to do? I think he did the right decision calling them in.
I think he has too. And again, it's also allowing the people, we the people, to see how much corruption there is in each of these places that he's sending the military, and see what it's tied to. Along with the military going in, we're finding a lot of folks are being picked up for moving child porn and moving children and the sex trafficking and all this other stuff, right? There's a lot of sting operations that have been going on recently that are getting folks picked up. This is being revealed, and people are seeing the truth because it's happening. It's happening right in their communities. They're witnessing tons of large vehicles and military aspects and all this stuff. And they're also witnessing, once the military does come in, they're witnessing a decrease in their violent crime, and they're feeling safer enough to be able to go out to eat and go out and let the kids play, right? Yeah. It's amazing the transformation that's taking place within these places. But again, the prostitutes with their talking points aren't going to tell you that. Right? They're just going to go on and on about the division, and they're going to create the division and all of this stuff. So I'm thrilled to see what's happening within these cities that are being cleaned up. Right?
Yeah. Well, Julie, we had I've seen a lot of people talking about, for their first time in years, they were actually able to go out in New York City, go out for dinner, and they felt safe. In those areas that Donald Trump has already hit. And the same thing in D.C. That tells you a lot right there, that the American people have not felt safe about anything for quite some time. And I want to share something with the audience, Julie. Yesterday I got interrupted. So my apologies for yesterday's broadcast. If I didn't seem focused, it's because I was dealing with people on my computer at the same time as trying to do a show. Forest River had to come out and evaluate my lemon trailer that they sold me.
Right.
So they had to evaluate it, and I was trying to answer questions and do this at the same time. But I shared yesterday about the gay pride things they had hovering over the state capitol there in Phoenix.
And
a lot of my viewing audience said they could not see it from their cell phone. I could see it actually my laptop computer or whatever. And then when I checked my cell phone, I have to agree you couldn't really see it. So, so what I did is I did a couple screenshots of it. This is the back side of the Capitol. I didn't get a chance to do the front side, but it's the same gay pride stuff over the Capitol. But I will share this. I believe we got it right here. Hopefully that's large enough where people can see it.
There we go.
So that's what we have right up above the Capitol right there. Back in June, July, whatever. I was told that this was because it's Gay Pride Month, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a time what time of the year. I don't give a damn what time of the year it is. You don't fly Gay Pride over our American flags, everything else, and you sure in the hell don't put them on your state capitol buildings. Talk about a crock of shit that and again, I questioned the Capitol Police about it, and even Capitol Police was outraged by it, but they said they were just following orders. So there you have it, folks.
While you've got that up there, Jonathan, let's talk about that for just a second, because this this flag has changed and it's evolved, and it's rather curious. So I just pulled up what the different meanings of the letters of the colors are. And so here's what their flag means. Red is life, orange is healing, yellow sunlight, green nature, blue harmony, violet spirit. So this flag was originally designed by Gilbert Baker in 1978. It initially had 8 colors, including hot pink and turquoise. The current version, 1979, the flag was simplified to 6 colors due to production challenges, removing hot pink and turquoise. Now, the new variations, the Progress Pride flag, 2018, this version includes what you're seeing on the Capitol up there. The black and brown represent LGBTQ plus people of color. And the light blue, pink, and white represent transgender and non-binary individuals. Now it also says intersex inclusive progress pride flag of 2021 features a yellow triangle with a purple circle to symbolize the intersex community. And I have no idea what in the hell that means. I got nothing. If you guys got something on what the heck intersex community means, by all means, please give a shout.
Almost sounds like an orgy.
Oh, it's horrible. Okay,
Oh my
so
God.
I brought this up with somebody the other day. You know, why do people think and believe that I have to know what your intimate choices are in your life in order for us to have a working relationship or any type of communication? Why is that so necessary for me to know what goes on behind closed doors in people's houses? It just has blown my mind that, you know, that this is what they're choosing to die on, basically.
Yeah. Well, you know, Julie, here's another thing. For the Capitol to put this on the back side of the Capitol like that, at the top of the building, and then to put it also on the front of the Capitol, where the major part of the traffic comes into the Capitol. That's almost like in your face, America. You know, in your face.
Yeah.
We're going to push this right down
anyway.
your throats, and you're going to accept it. You're not going to be outraged by it because we're flying it right there on our Capitol. You know, or I keep saying flying, but
it almost looks like it's painted, but I think it's just flags that are coming down from.
When the wind blows, you can actually see them move.
Okay, yeah. So they're flags. Okay, yep. Wow.
But either way, the point is, why in the hell would you put that on a state capitol building in any city? Why?
Nope.
Why?
Nope.
Unless you're trying to push it down the people's throats.
Exactly.
And trying to force them to accept this. You know, I don't care whether you're gay, white, black, whatever the heck you are in this world. You know, you don't have to push your ways onto other people.
Agreed.
You know, it doesn't got to be right there in your face for the world to have to see it. You know, what you do behind closed doors, folks, is your business.
Yep.
You know,
that's how I've always looked at it.
if you're gay or whatever, you know what? I'll even talk to you.
Well, yeah, I have friends. Yes.
But don't try to push yourself. Don't try to push your gay shit onto me, because that's not going to fly with me either.
Right.
You know, but I'll be civilized with everybody.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I'm only civilized up to the point until they decide they're going to try to really push it onto me.
Or disrespect my view, right? Or disrespect my view too. Yeah. I'm respecting the fact that you have yours is different from mine, but at the same time, you have to respect the fact that we're different. We just differ, right? So,
well, and I think God makes it quite clear in our Holy Bible. You know, it's to be one man, one woman. It doesn't say woman, woman, man, man, man.
Right.
I think God makes that very crystal clear in the scriptures.
Hmm.
So for people to turn around and want to force this upon people, God help their souls, like the governor of Arizona,
Hmm.
because you got Judgment Day coming too with our Almighty Maker,
Hmm.
and that's going to be between you and God for what you've done. Um, so
Absolutely.
you had something else you said you wanted to share today, Julie.
Oh, yes, about Mr. Kelly. And in today's WTF news, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, I bring to you, I find it very curious because they keep talking about how Mr. Mark Kelly is married to um, this lady, Gabby Gifford, right? And we
Right.
all remember Gabby Gifford. Okay, can we see it? All right.
Okay.
Oh, you
Yeah.
probably need to. There we
I
go.
just added it.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Okay. So, for those of you that aren't watching and that are listening, I'm just going to go ahead and read it a little bit here. So, it's not so much the who as the how that these two folks met. All right.
I'm going to try to enlarge this just a hair.
Okay.
There you go.
So, Senator Mark Kelly's story of service is deeply intertwined with a profound personal love story. While many know him as the Arizona senator, former astronaut, and Navy captain, his role as a devoted husband and father is the cornerstone of his public life. His journey and his wife, former Congressman Gabby Giffords, is a powerful narrative of resilience and partnership that has captivated the nation and shaped his path from spaceflight to the Senate floor. Kelly's family life is built on two strong marriages. He was first married to Amelia Victoria Babis in 1989. Together, they had two daughters, Claudia and Claire Kelly. After their divorce in 2004, Kelly found love again and Gabrielle Gabby Giffords, then a sitting U.S. representative from Arizona. Here's the how. The couple who had met in a 2003 during a Young Leaders Forum in China, married on November 10th,
Wow.
2007, in an outdoor ceremony at an organic farm in Amado, Arizona. Their wedding was officiated by Rabbi Stephanie Aaron, reflecting Gifford's Jewish faith. Excuse me, China? A Young Leaders Forum in China? What the hell are
Wow.
you doing over there?
Yeah, no kidding.
And talk about being infiltrated. Whoa, what's happening here? This I find very, very curious.
Right.
So, what's this guy really, really up to, along with her? So,
So did
I'm
you
just
st-
asking questions. I'm just asking questions.
oh, oh yeah. Did you let's see, there's the screen. Okay. So you'll have to stop sharing that on your end when you're ready.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's a good point, Julie. All the corruption that we keep seeing from these senators and all these people, you know, I am totally fed up.
Hmm.
Um, especially with Mark Kelly and the way he just handled this with the military.
Hmm.
I, you know, being a military commander himself, he knows better. I
Oh,
promise you.
he totally knows
You
better.
know,
They all do.
yeah,
They all
yeah,
do. So, I'm sorry. I'm not buying your little pony dance and song and
yeah,
dance here. It's just not flying with me. Bullshit. I call
yeah.
bullshit.
Well, that's just like who was it? I think it was might have been Comey making an implication about 86 and Trump.
Oh,
The
right.
FBI
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah. He didn't know
uh,
that
and,
either.
and then
Right.
and then
Bullshit.
and
Yeah.
then and then acting like he didn't know what 86 was. It's like,
Uh-huh.
but, if you don't know what 86 is, then why would you even mention it?
Well, and what kind of freaking FBI director are you that don't know what that is, you dumbass?
Yeah,
Hello.
exactly. But the good news is it looks like they are definitely going to try to retry this here. They're taking
Mhm.
other steps. Come to find out, the gal that Trump did appoint to handle this case was legitimately brought in, even though the courts are trying to say that that was illegal. Bullshit. I think the Supreme Courts are going to override it. I think they're going to say no. What Trump actually did was 100% legal. It was just it's another stunt move that they pulled. But you got to keep in mind that's good old Obama's judge right there that made that
Right.
decision.
Right.
So
Yeah.
again,
And,
follow the money trail, folks. Follow the money trail.
exactly. And here's what I think a lot of people don't. It's difficult to comprehend how long these other folks that have been trying to infiltrate us have been working at doing so. Look, they have long-term plans. They don't have short-term plans. They don't have short-term plans of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Bullshit. They've got 30-year plans. This is what we're going to do. We're going to infiltrate this number of people within the positions within the United States, whatever it is. But guys, they've been doing this our whole flipping lives, our whole lives, not just our lives, our parents' lives, our grandparents' lives. They've been doing this to us forever. And I've had it. I'm done with the corruption. And this shit has got to go away. Enough already. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm really swearing today, but I'm just all riled up. I've had 2 cups of coffee, Jonathan. I'm ready to go.
well, hell, I'm still working on my first.
Okay. Well,
but, yeah,
I'm ahead of you.
but you know what really bothers me, Julie? You look at this generation of people that's here.
Mhm.
You know, it terrifies me for what's to become of America over the next generation. Um,
Yeah.
we are definitely on a bad road right now in this country.
Mhm.
When you see, this younger generation getting in people's faces, sitting there calling us people like us, we're KKK, we're a bunch of
Mhm.
commies ourselves, everything in the
Mhm.
book, when we're all
Mhm.
about God, family, and country.
Right.
And we're being brainwashed by like even I mean, Senator Kelly, brainwashing people, making them feel like they're following the justified orders and
Mhm.
everything in the book.
Mhm.
This is the kind of crap that we're having to deal with here in America now. And I remember growing up, we were taught to respect our elders, to treat
Yep.
everybody with courtesy.
That's right.
But we were taught so much different than what you see these children being brought up today.
Mhm.
And these parents today ought to be ashamed of themselves for how their children have turned out. But they're just the same. These parents. I see these
It's
parents
true.
having their
And
kids right there at these.
right, because I really think that the pendulum is swinging really far back and forth. Meaning, a lot of us were brought up with, you respect your elders, you respect the relationship that you're in, you don't leave it, no matter if it's a domestic abuse. We were brought up to follow through. We were brought up to shut up, sit down, shut up, and deal with it, right? Cope with it.
Right.
Sorry, your feelings are hurt. Whoop-de freaking do, right? So we were brought up like that, but a lot of us were also brought up with a lot of strict religion. And I think that there
Right.
is a lot of, I know for me, I'm speaking for myself and some folks around my generation, that we were brought up with so much heavy religion that we pushed against it when we started having our own children. And
Yeah.
so there maybe wasn't that same level of godness, of concept of something bigger outside of them. So foundationally speaking, I think that there's been a big swing and sway just naturally from those of us that have been under religious, craziness, that didn't feel right for us, and we didn't want to pass that on to our children. Just speaking for
Oh,
me.
exactly right.
But at the same time, without, now what we're seeing, without that foundation, without some sort of comprehension of a foundation, there's nothing that they're standing on. There's nothing solid to
Right.
stand on, right? And so I think this is where the young ones are slipping through the cracks. I will say this: I did work with higher ed for about a dozen years in residential life. And yes, while there's a huge amount of propaganda taking place in the higher ed colleges, on campuses everywhere, there's also a lot of young people that are doing wonderful things and still have their common sense about them and question what they're being taught. And some of these people are refusing to follow through on their degrees when their degree is requiring them to go through gender studies as their final
Huh.
piece of the puzzle, right?
Right.
So I think there's a lot. I'm encouraged by some young people as well, but I do believe that there's a pendulum swinging right now. I think that Charlie Kirk was very instrumental in waking a lot of those young people up. And I'm very, very happy for that, to question, what are you being taught? What are your beliefs?
Yeah.
And a lot of these young people found out they didn't have any. And so they're starting to find some, and I'm thrilled for that. I think that's a really good thing as we move forward. But right now we're still, we're juggling a lot, and we don't know how to juggle. So
Well, Julie, my grandparents ended up raising me. Thank God. And I was brought up very old fashioned. One of the things my grandpa taught me as a lesson in life, he says, grandson, here's the deal. You're free to do whatever you want on this earth. I mean,
Mhm.
regardless of who disagrees, you're going to find a way to do it if that's what you decide you're going to do. He goes,
Right.
but here's the thing you got to keep in mind. You got to make sure everything that you're doing in life is good. He goes,
Mm.
because at the end of the day, even though you're free to do whatever you want, you're not free from the consequences of your choices. He goes,
Bingo.
that's going to be between you and God one day. He goes,
Mhm.
and you got to always remember this. He goes, no matter what seems to be great out there, what pleasures or anything else in this world, he goes, you got to always keep your morals about you. He goes, be
Mhm.
strong, stand up for what's right, speak
Mhm.
nothing but the truth. Um,
Yep.
he goes, because here's the deal. He goes, when you sit there and you fall into all this corruption around you and all this evilness around you, and then you decide, well, hey, I want to be part of the crowd here because I'm over here in a corner all by myself. Um,
Mhm.
Honestly, Julie, I'd rather be all by myself in this world than to put myself living amongst all that corruption. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, I want to know when my time comes to depart this earth that I'm going to go meet with God. We're going to have a nice discussion about my life. And
Mhm.
without a doubt, I know God is going to welcome me into his kingdom. I know
Yes.
this. And
Absolutely.
this is where I tell all of you viewers out there today, um, be right with God. I'm not here to preach to you or anything else. I'm just telling you, be right with God. Because
Absolutely.
what we have here on this earth right now is complete chaos. Yeah, everything else, you know, all the corruption, everything. But it's up to us to all try to lead people in the right direction.
Mhm.
Because you know what? We're not here forever, folks, and we're not.
Mhm.
And
Right.
and I want to know, I'd rather see every patriot out there enter the gates of heaven versus, you know, an eternity of hell, so to
Mhm.
speak.
Right.
You know, and it's all by how we want to live our lives. Do we want to live it accordingly to God, or do we
Mhm.
want to live it accordingly to what we want? You know,
Right.
there's lots of things in this life I wanted to do, but I always had to take it into prayer first, and I always had to say, God, is this where you want me to be?
Right.
If you would have
Yep.
told me I'd be out here doing this broadcasting stuff even 5 years ago, I probably would have told you no way. I don't mind
Mhm.
going down and covering stuff on the border, but if you told me I was going to be on television, I was going to have a broadcast show or anything else, I would have said, nope, that's
No
not me,
way.
folks.
Nope.
Because at the time, it wasn't me.
Yeah. Right.
But I did.
But
I
we
took I took it
changed.
into prayer.
Yeah.
I took this all into prayer, and I
Yep.
asked God,
Hmm.
where do you need me,
Where do
Father?
you need
Where do you
me?
want me?
Yes. Yes.
And and
Same.
I feel God has guided me to doing this to get the truth out to people
Yep.
because these news medias lie to you. You know,
Yep.
God
Yep.
knows I'm going to go down when I'm on the borders. I'm going to broadcast and share nothing but the truth with the American people, so
Yes.
people can see what's really happening. I think
Right.
eh, and I know at the end of the day, people say, well, we should all love everybody in this world. Well, you know what? That's okay to love everybody. But here's the thing. Even God ordered the greatest battles in the history of this world to where
Hmm.
even God said, and not to promote violence, because this is meant to be violent,
Hmm.
but even God said, leave no survivors
Yes.
in a lot of battles in the
Hmm.
scriptures. Look it up, folks. If you don't believe
Yep.
me, look it up.
Yep.
There are some of the greatest battles ever right
Yep.
out of the scriptures in the Bible.
Yep.
So what I think what God wants from us is, yeah, does he want us to love one another? Absolutely.
Yes.
But at the same time, here's the problem we have in this country, folks. We have had nothing but a complete invasion, and that's part of my topic today, by the way.
Hmm.
What do you consider an invasion? Well, we've had nothing but a complete invasion on our borders for 4 years,
Right.
more than that, actually. And if you want to really get down to it, why didn't anybody protest Biden? Why didn't anybody say, why are you assisting with the foreign invasion, Mr.
Right. Right.
Biden?
The illegal orders that he was throwing. Yes. Yes. And
Right.
our
Because,
borders are.
yeah, because the point is, we don't know who in the hell is who that came through those
Hmm.
borders. You
Hmm.
don't know if they're here to try to have a better life, if they're here to try to kill America, or if they're here to
Hmm.
poison us with the fentanyl, or
Yep.
sit there and these mass gun factories they're starting up here on American soil, which we covered a little bit the other day on a
Yeah.
video for you
Yep.
guys
Yep.
from the cartel. I mean, so here's the point. If you haven't come through our borders and gone through this the proper way, through the proper channels,
Hmm.
I agree. You got to get the hell out. Period. If you weren't vetted, if we don't know who in the hell you are, you're history. You're out of
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Um, and you know what? I'm not saying there haven't maybe been a handful of decent people that might have been shipped out as well, but
Hmm.
I don't care if they are decent. The point is, if they came through those borders illegally, all the decency in the world don't matter to me
Right.
because that means you still did an unlawful thing by coming through those border
To get in
things in the
here.
wall.
Exactly.
Get in
Yes.
here. That
Hmm.
makes you illegal. That makes you illegally in our country. And
Right.
that means, you've got to either self deport or home is going to come get you. Point
Right.
blank and clear. Your history,
Right.
folks. If
Yep.
you come in our borders illegally, you're done.
Right.
And you know what?
Well, and like you said, Jonathan, I mean, you were right there. You witnessed so many young military aged men coming through, and
Yep.
President Trump was not wrong when he said that they were emptying all of their prisons to with the worst of the worst. Honduras, you can now walk
Yeah,
around
150
safely and
some.
freely because they're all
Yep,
here.
150 some different countries, folks, came through
Yeah.
our borders.
Yes.
150 some different countries.
Yes. They're all
And
here now.
you want to tell, yeah, exactly. Spot on, Julie.
Yeah.
Um,
So the
it
other thing
just,
I wanted to
yeah,
say that you're talking about there, Jonathan, when it comes to what Mark Kelly and the seditious six, what they're saying, basically, they're not pointing to a specific illegal law that President Trump has ordered. Okay, why? Because
yep,
there isn't one. And the main reason for that is that President Trump and his team has done everything by the book, the whole flipping way, even though the book itself is corrupt and nasty and nefarious
right,
and for one team over another, he's still doing it by the book. Okay. Now, the other thing
yeah,
is this whole seditious six, again, this has nothing to do with personal accountability and responsibility. What they're doing is undermining authority, and they're also saying, we we want you guys to question it. Just question it. So questioning it is seditious.
Yep.
If anybody went through any type of military training, you got anybody, ask them in their basic training, what would happen to you if you didn't do what the training instructor told you to do? I'll wait.
Yep.
I'll wait. You're
Well,
going to be
with Mark
doing
Kelly being a command,
150 push-ups amongst other things, right? But they're not taking account, they're not taking responsibility. This is one thing that the Democrats are notorious for, is not taking responsibility when the facts are in their face. And so what you guys are doing, the seditious six, is you are inciting issues within the military. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You got to stop that.
well, here's the thing, Julie. What would Mark Kelly have done? Him being a commander, which he was,
Right.
but him being a commander, I'd like to see somebody ask him right to his face, what would you have done if your men started questioning your orders, Mr. Kelly? How would you
Perfect.
handle?
Perfect question.
That's what I want to
question.
see. I want to see somebody ask him that
Yep.
question. And I'd love to have Mark Kelly on the show. Just some questions.
Yeah.
How would he like it if his men start, downplaying everything that he's ordered out there, while he was active service? Or how many people would have been being sent over for court martial?
Right.
Because I can guarantee you that's probably what he would have done. One of the things I want to share with you guys today as well, real quick, we had a pretty horrific crime occur here in Arizona on children. And I want to get that out there to you guys as part of the broadcast this morning. Really upset of me watching this.
All right. Well, trigger warning. Talking about kids here.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Before I start my prepared remarks, I would like to inform everyone this was just released per the Phoenix Police Department, Form 4. The accused has been charged with sexual assault F2 as well as kidnap F2. The probable cause statement says this: on November 19th, 2025, at approximately 12:21 hours, an unknown male asked a female student to go into a classroom, touched her, pulled down her pants. The victim, a 10-year-old female, participated in a dedicated forensic interview at Child Help Children's Center at approximately 1500 hours. The victim disclosed that an unknown black male was on school campus and told her that he was a doctor who needed to perform tests. The defendant took the victim into an empty classroom, sat her on the floor, pulled her pants down, and performed oral sex on the 10-year-old little girl. The defendant attempted to pull down his own pants, and the victim pushed him, telling him to stop.
The police officer at the scene told me to never sue the driver who crashed into me after my car accident. I took his advice and got $100,000 for my accident without suing, without going to court, and without dealing with insurance directly. At first, I thought he was
I have a question.
out of his mind.
There, sorry about that. So,
How
absolutely.
is it that she's able to perform oral and his pants aren't down? Was it that he was trying to take his pants completely off? Or because that just sounded weird to me. I'm just catching what they're throwing out.
So what they're saying is he also performed oral sex on the little girl.
Oh God! Oh, okay. All right. Got it.
Another real sicko. But here's my point, folks. Our schools are not safe for our children, and that's why I want to get this out there.
Yeah.
Where in the hell was the supposedly the law enforcement that's on these school grounds nowadays? Where's the teachers at, folks?
Yeah.
Where's the?
How does this person gain access? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not like he was in there just for a second.
Right.
Obviously, he was in there long enough to do all this crap.
Yeah.
Where's the security for the schools? right here, right out there in Phoenix, Arizona. People in Phoenix ought to be outraged by this. The
They
school
should
needs to
be.
be held accountable for
Yep.
this. Not to mention that SOB ought to have his cahoons cut off.
Right? Oh man.
Fed bill, as far as I'm concerned.
That just doesn't make, it's crazy how much. So I have a son who's an adult now, thank God. I don't have to deal with the school system these days. But it was an issue back then to try to get him picked up, to get him where I could get to him, right? And so it blows my mind that somebody can come in like this. Is this person, how? I mean, how? They've got security everywhere. And yeah, it's crazy to me how this can happen in our public schools. It's sad. It's very, very sad.
Here's my point. This is a black man, that kept his name quiet. I'm still researching it. I'm hoping to get all the information on this guy. Tell you where he's from, whether he's a foreigner or American citizen or whatever. Right. If it was a white man, I guarantee you'd be plastered all over the headline news, your name. Why are they keeping that from the people? I mean, it shouldn't matter about the color of your skin, folks.
No, it's the action.
You've done wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. Wrong is wrong. Right.
I think the American people deserve to know exactly who in the hell you are and what you've done to these children. And be held accountable like anybody else. You don't sit there and hide their information and all the crap. I mean, that's... And again, Phoenix being a liberal city, is he going to make it back out on the streets? Are they going to find a reason to acquit him of all charges? Every time we turn around, people are getting acquitted.
Yeah,
they're getting off with murder.
Well, now I'll tell you this whole DEI that was put in place in the colleges. I had to live through that. I managed dorms, and we would have security hours at night, right? And so I would have to set up security guards that were student employees to me that I would train, and we took care of the front desk services, right, for the kids in the dorm. Well, we would occasionally have a hot item come from the police saying, hey, this event just took place on campus. Watch out for somebody that attempted a sexual assault on a woman in dorm A, B, and C. Okay.
Right.
Because of DEI, they would refuse to give the full detail of the guilty person, or the not the victim, but the assaulter.
Right.
They would never tell us if they were Caucasian or not Caucasian. They wouldn't, outside of, how tall they were. They would never give us skin color because of their DEI process, because they didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm like, how are we supposed to know who to look for? And I'm not saying anything against Black people. It's not it at all. It's that we define by what we see. Yes. So this is how we have to share information with people. I don't know what to look for to keep my safe if you're not giving me a full description. And I fought the police left and right, 2 different universities on that topic. They would never give us a full description. And it was sad. And I'm just thrilled I'm no longer in that life of higher ed, but I know a lot of people are. It's bad.
Well, Kathy out there says this is sickening. You're absolutely right, Kathy. This is 100% sickening. What we're seeing out there, especially with our children. I'm at the point, I don't believe our school systems are safe. I'm all about homeschooling nowadays. I think all children should be homeschooled. Just because of crap like this right here. Our schools aren't there to protect our children. And too many of our children are being murdered in these schools now, being raped like that right there.
Yep.
And the Democrats want to cover it all up until it happens to somebody in their family.
Right. Then they're outraged.
Then they're outraged, and then they're all about, oh, we got to take control of this. But up until that, they're always hunky dory about everything and how it's operating.
Right.
That right there just totally outraged me and sickened me to no end.
Yeah.
And furthermore, again, how in the hell did this guy get past school security? Where in the hell were the teachers in the school?
Yeah. Yes. That's insane.
Not to mention, it said he had another girl there in the class. So here's what I'm thinking, Julie. I'm thinking the school was so stupid. This guy probably walked into the school, claimed to be some sort of a medical doctor there to help examine kids. And that's how he ended up getting these kids alone in a classroom.
Wow.
Because you know what? I don't have any other explanation.
No. And that's all they're giving us.
Maybe I'm assuming it. But it really makes you, as it says, there's other kids there, He's got another girl there, classroom with them. So there's 3 right there. How many more were there that they haven't mentioned yet?
Right.
So this is this is why we have got to stop the child abuse, the child rapes, the human trafficking in this country. We're by the way, folks, we're big on stopping human trafficking. That's one of the things we were trying to stop on our borders and everything else. And a lot of people kept telling me when we're out there reporting on the borders, they see all these children, they're going, "Oh, kick them over the wall." You know what, folks? Those comments that some of you made about that, you can kiss my ass on it. And I'm just going to say it. Because I'm going to tell you what. Those children, 98% of those children were being human trafficked against their will. They were being sex trafficked into our country. They end up in cartel-owned homes, sitting there in Vegas being sex trafficked. In Vegas, of all places, Reno. These are children that were forced into child sex against their will.
Yep.
When they came through the border, a lot of those children had over 30 different demons in them. 30.
God, I can't
From being raped by the cartel over and over and over on their journey.
God, can't imagine.
So for them to not even listen to my reporting, it just got irritated about seeing all these kids coming through the border. Oh, kick them over the wall. How would you feel if that was your child being sex trafficked right through our border walls over into Mexico? What you going to be telling the Mexican people to kick your child back over the wall? Come on.
It's horrible.
It's about human. It's about that part I will take a stand on because it's about human life. I don't care what country you come from. No child deserves to be human trafficked, sold for sex, sold for child labor. And that's exactly what these corrupt politicians were allowing and the Biden administration allowed. Because the Biden, as far as I'm concerned, Joe Biden is nothing but a pedophile piece of shit.
Oh, yes, for a long time. Yes. That dude.
I'm on a roll this morning, guys. I'm sorry.
I think we both are. I think your coffee's kicking in.
Yeah, all these sicko Democrats that seem to think this is all okay and the human trafficking was okay and all these children get raped is okay, sold off for sex, okay. Look at the hundreds and hundreds of children Kash Patel has been rounding up under these sting operations. As the Democrats keep having all these hearings in Congress, sitting there trying to slam him to no end, as he's coming up with batches of children after children after children, stopping the cartels on American soil. As these Democrats want to beat up like he's a piece of shit. If that makes you a piece of shit for caring about children and recovering them and getting them back to their country, back to their parents where they were
back to the parents,
kidnapped from, where they were kidnapped from, folks. If you haven't paid attention to my broadcasting in the past, let me say it to you one more time. The cartel would go to those homes in Mexico, go up, tell the parents, we're taking your children, they're ours now. If the parents disagreed, the cartel would actually behead one of the children, one of the parents, and say, "Who's next?"
God.
Now everybody's coming with us. So
Man.
these parents would surrender their children over to the cartel,
Yeah.
because they knew the cartel would finish executing every one of them,
Yep.
hoping that someday they're going to see their child again. Now, these thugs that come through our borders, like the cartel and all these men of fight age, you're damn right. You know what? That's an invasion.
Yes.
Those children coming through the border, though, those children coming through the border were being human trafficked.
Yep.
Like it or not, that's the reality, folks.
Yep.
I'm just getting that out there.
Yep, it's true.
So,
That's so true.
I have seen so many people getting a pissing match with me on this, and I tell them, have you been on the border with me and my have you ever had a child come up to you scared to death and you can smell the semen rolling off of their body? Have you ever had that happen, folks?
That's horrible.
You haven't been on the front lines with me and my team.
Yeah.
So once again, after Thanksgiving and Christmas, any of you guys want to take a trip down to the border? Hopefully we got one trip coming up before Christmas. You guys want to take a trip down the border and come witness the shit on American soil with me and my team? Call me, 928-385-4738. Reach out to me through my website under Contact Us, under yournewsarizona.com, and click on the Contact Us link, and you can set up an appointment with me. We'll screen you a little bit and see if we want to take you down to the border with us. And the only thing I ask is that you have to law abiding. Can't have you being coming down there wanting to create some hostility yourself.
Right.
I understand people's frustration when they're down on the border with us. Even I've had senators be irate about what they've witnessed down there, but they kept their composure. At least, thank God. We'll show you guys on the borders. It'll just blow your mind. Anyways, I know it's kind of rolling on. I want to share with you guys real quick a little bit about Caroline Lynn's DOJ after cases thrown out by a federal judge. So we'll share that real quick, and we can get back to the rest of the topic here.
The White House is supportive of the Department of War's investigation into Senator Mark Kelly, and I think what Senator Mark Kelly was actually trying to do was intimidate the 1.3 million active duty service members who are currently serving in our United States Armed Forces with that video that he and his Democrat colleagues put out. Senator Mark Kelly well knows the rules of the military and the respect that one must have for the chain of command, and that all lawful orders are presumed to be legal by our service members. You can't have a functious disorder in chaos ranks, and that's what these Democrat members were encouraging. It's very clear, and not a single one of them, since they've been pressed by the media, and I'll give you guys credit for that, can point to a single illegal order that this administration has given down, because it does not exist. They knew what they were doing in this video, and Senator Mark Kelly and all of them should be held accountable for that. No, because Lindsey Callaghan was legally appointed, and that's the administration's position. I know there was a judge who is clearly trying to shield Letitia James and James Comey from receiving accountability, and that's why they took this unprecedented action to throw away the indictments against these two individuals. But the Department of Justice will be appealing very soon, and it is our position that Lindsey Callaghan is extremely qualified for this position, but more importantly, was legally appointed to it. Steve.
So anyways, that's what they kept trying to say. They kept trying to say the courts did, that she was illegally appointed the position.
Right.
Which is a crock of shit, and we know that.
Yep. Well, they're gonna try all their nefarious, nasty ways,
Oh yeah. We'll play a little bit more of this and then get back to our topic.
Is President Zelensky come to the United States this week?
Okay. But anyways, yeah, that's where it's at, folks. Again, you got the Obama-appointed judge that sat there and tried to act like Donald Trump illegally appointed her, blah, blah, blah. But what a crock of shit. This is all to protect Comey and what's her name, Letitia James or whatever. Or, I get mixed up with all.
Yeah, no, you're right, Letitia James. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Either way, anything they can do to save their bacon.
Oh yeah.
And I hope Donald Trump has another thing up his sleeve to say, okay, now we got you this way. My understanding, though, is Comey's facing other charges besides this hearing, anyways, on a bunch of corruption that they got him on, and they have it 100% facts behind it. But again, I keep saying this show after show after show. When are we going to start seeing arrests?
Yeah.
When are we going to start seeing these people in prison for the crap they've done for all these years and gotten away with murder? Including the Clintons. The Clintons were, it's funny how every time somebody's investigating the Clintons or something, next thing you know, people end up dying everywhere.
Oh yeah. What is it, like?
It's kind of a no-brainer.
Suicides, 53 suicides, or some crazy number like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they magically hung themselves with their hands tied behind their back.
Or they shot themselves in the back of the head. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I've seen I've seen every story in the book out there on the Clintons, and it's just like, wow, you guys are pretty good at your bullshit. I'll give you that.
Well, I followed the money. Yeah, and it's all about following the money. I followed the money, and the Clintons are tied directly to Gates, tied directly to Fauci, tied to woohoo, everybody's getting sick right now. So yeah. They're nasty and nefarious.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, again, my apologies for yesterday's show being so distracted on my computer. But again, I was trying to deal with the Forest River people and try to do a broadcast at the same time. Appreciate you stepping up yesterday, Julie, and taking over like that. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely, anytime. Happy to do so.
But other than that, yep. Hope all you guys out there are going to have yourselves a happy Thanksgiving. I want to get this out there one last time. For those of you guys out here in Arizona, in Mojave County, Arizona, I don't even care if you come up from Kingman, Laughlin, Nevada, wherever. If you guys are in need of a turkey or something, I've got some left. If you're a family desperately in need this holiday season, give me a call, 928-385-4738, or email me, yournewsarizona@gmail.com. Tell me what you're in need of for this Thanksgiving. We'll do all we can to help you. But we still have a few turkeys left. And then also for those of you that can't cook this year or have no way of cooking a Thanksgiving dinner, I have extra turkey I am cooking this year. So give me if you want to come join us, give me a call. You're welcome to stop in for dinner, or I'll serve you a plate to go. So try to get that out there to you guys right before tomorrow. So if that's what you need, let me know, and we're happy to help you out. So other than that, we're going to be down tomorrow for Thanksgiving. I might do a little broadcast over Thanksgiving, but it won't be much. But you guys enjoy your time with your family, your loved ones. Set aside the political differences. Sit down and have a dinner with people. I'd rather people not even talk about politics and all the crap over Thanksgiving dinner, preferably. Enjoy some family and some quality time together. Just love one another. Be good to one another. If you guys do talk about politics or whatever, just keep in mind you can agree to disagree, but don't let it get out of hand. This is all about being thankful, not about a war zone with one another.
Right.
So
at the end of the day, we're still related to each other and not the politicians, right?
That's right. Just remember, this is all about God, family, and country. Be thankful that we got a country, that we got a president that loves our country.
Mm-hmm.
Is doing all in his power to try to make a difference for this country. Whether you agree with Donald Trump on everything or not, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's
Yep.
things Donald Trump does. I'll be the first to say I disagree. Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything Donald Trump does.
Right.
But I can tell you about our president. He loves this country. He loves the people of this country. Uh, wants nothing but the best for this country.
Yep. Yep.
While you're saying prayers, folks, say a prayer for our president as well.
Yes, please.
You will help guide them. Man, just you know, just help protect our president,
Mm-hmm.
and always direct our president in the right way. To handle things for this country.
Yep.
I'd include that in your prayers. So we all need prayer for,
Absolutely.
including myself. So
Well, I'm
other than
very
that,
grateful.
Julie, we'll
Very
see you
grateful for
on.
you on Friday. I'm planning to
We'll
be
see
here
you
Friday.
on Friday.
Yeah,
So we'll be
absolutely.
back live again Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. Hope you guys can tune in to your Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. And you guys can always feel free to join in on our talk shows, call into our studio. I'm starting to get quite a bit of people reacting on things on the different social media sites. Appreciate your guys' comments and your feedback on things. But if you guys got other thoughts and ideas, give us a call. You're always welcome to be on our show. And we're not going to attack you or beat up on you for asking questions.
That's right.
So
We're all here to
um,
talk and learn. That's right.
and we're not going to beat up on you for making comments. We can
Yeah,
agree to
right.
disagree with you guys
Right.
as well. Doesn't mean
Absolutely.
we got to like what you say, but doesn't mean we're just going to attack you for it either.
Right.
But other than that, we'll see you guys again on Friday morning. God bless you guys. And again, if you guys need a turkey, give me a call. God bless you all.
Awesome.